Well, I think what we're seeing, first of all, is that video on demand as a segment is growing much slower than predicted. And despite the fact of the popularity of services such as Lovefilm, streaming, Hulu in the United States, and many of the Asian sites that are delivering that right now, the adoption rates are far lower than originally anticipated. The interesting question there is, why is that? And I think the short and simple answer is that for video on demand to become a mass market product, it will have to offer both the convenience and the selection of content that we are used to today. What do I mean by that? It needs to be usable very simply without having a type of a transition process between your PC, laptop, and TV. So part of it is essentially it's a consumer behavior issue that people have been slow to embrace VOD as a substitute for traditional media channels. The second part, which is the content side of it, is a little bit more complicated because it's something that is inherent to the industry, particularly the cinema industry that we know today as Hollywood or the TV industry. And the problem there, the bottleneck there, is IPR. It's intellectual property rights. The rights of content are so fragmented that it is a very complicated and difficult task to aggregate all that content into one place. Now, Juice tried it, the guys from Skype, failed. Hulu is trying it today, may or may not succeed. You have other companies that are trying to become the destination of choice for people to go and see their content. But what we're seeing today is that syndicated content, in other words, not user-generated, is protected by very high barriers. And those barriers are controlled by the rights owners. The next half decade to a decade is going to show us devices that are essentially integrated computer TVs, a multimedia platform that you have in your house as a stationary object, and where there is a seamless transition, even a wireless transition, to the content you want on the web, much like digital radio. Before we get there, however, there's going to be a long process of negotiating ownership rights and who gets paid what and when. Especially the hurdle today is piracy. Before the Asian markets can be included in that and non-Western markets can be included in that, the piracy issue will have to be resolved before studios and TV and content owners feel comfortable releasing that. So device integration is critical, IPR issue resolution is critical, and then allowing the consumer to feel comfortable with a new platform in their house that is a substitute for the PC TV division. In other words, your single screen unit.